Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It is an honor to have you here. Today's episode is going to primarily be for the soul sourced, soul power business entrepreneur babe. However, if you are not an entrepreneur, you are still going to find a lot of value inside of today's episode. So don't steer away because the tools, the tactics, the mindset that I'm about to lay on you are absolutely applicable to anyone's life, no matter if you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you are a manager, if you work at a manufacturing plant, if you're an athlete, if you're a coach on any level. Like, if you are living life, these tools are absolutely going to apply to you, especially because I'm going to be using it through the lens of manifesting. Okay. So let's get into it. One of the tools that is completely left out of the trade of manifesting a lot, one of the tools that is essential to actually getting what you want in life that is left out of the toolbox of manifesting is embodiment. Now, you may or may not know I'm a holistic empowerment coach. I have 2 decades yoga teaching and practice experience under my belt. Embodiment is my world. And it's a really important piece, not only to my spiritual practice, my energy practice, but also just as in with my background in cognitive science, psychology, human computer interaction, you can't help but learn about what's called embodied cognition in that world. So embodied cognition plus my yogic and spiritual background plus my manifesting background has all brought me to this place where I now know you cannot manifest the life you want without the body being involved. I'm going to talk about why. I'm going to talk about why this is essential to getting what you want, but also from an entrepreneurial perspective, this is what actually positions you as an expert in your field. And why you want to be an expert? Well, that's going to separate you from the pack. So if you want to stand out in your own authentic frequency, then you need to be able to be and sound and feel and then be perceived as an expert. So how does that relate to embodiment, and how does embodiment relate to manifesting? That's what we're talking about in today's episode. Are you excited? I'm so excited. This one's a juicy one. Again, for my entrepreneurial babes, but everyone and anyone should be listening to this podcast. So let's get into it. Why is it an important piece of manifesting? Manifesting is about how you feel about yourself. Why is that the case? Because remember, life, reality is a mirror. It's called the mirror principle, which states that whatever you think, say, and act gets shown or casted onto the reality mirror. And the job of a mirror is to what? Reflect back. That's it. That's all life is ever doing. Life is always ever just reflecting back what you give it, what you show it, what you say to it. So we don't actually attract anything when we manifest. We actually project our manifestations, our desires into the world in order to see it back. Isn't that crazy? So many people think it's all about attracting. There is some attraction going on. We are electromagnetic beings after all. But honestly, if you really want to create the life of your dreams, if you want to step into more wealth, more love, more vision, more creativity, just more in general, you have to understand the mirror principle. So by that very fact, that life is only ever going to show you what you are, that we need to make sure we understand what we are and what we believe we are. Now, the reason embodiment is key here at this intersection in our discussion is because I like to say the body gives us consent. The body gives us consent. What does this mean? You ever feel like you get a great idea and then all of a sudden you're talking yourself out of it? That happens a lot if you are a risk taker, if you're a creative person and you're just surrounded by people who are not risk takers and not creative people, right? Someone's always going to talk you out of it. Well, we could do that to ourselves too, where we get a great idea that's actually for us to carry through out into this world. But our minds, our conscious mind, our subjective mind, even our unconscious mind is always going to talk us out of it if it is perceived as a risk, if it feels unsafe. So, the job of the body here is to make a playground for the ideas to drop in and live for a little bit with this understanding that I'm safe all the time. So, any idea that drops through is not a threat unless I say so. The body is a place that gives us consent. So, if we want to take action on something in our life that feels scary, starting a new job, moving to a new location, breaking up with someone, falling in love again, starting a business, writing a blog, starting a podcast, whatever it is that scares us, it's also exciting. If you want a full body, full mind, yes. If you want to convince yourself, in other words, that you can do it, you need to involve the body. If you leave out the body, you're only left with the head. And as Tony Robbins says, if you're in the head, you're dead. That's because our mind is filled with, riddled with limitations and paradigms that are brought to you by other people in our life who are limited and believe in limitations and live in scarcity. Like, think about it, guys. Manifesting and the way we're thinking and the way we're talking right now in this podcast is really new to the scene. And a lot of people don't understand this kind of thinking, this positive thinking and manifesting and creating the life of your dreams and empowerment and self improvement. This is a relatively new theme and concept to our world. So, more likely than not, you're going to have people who have raised you. You're going to have people in your environment that are consistently naysayers and negative. So, you can't rely always on your subconscious mind. You cannot rely on conscious mind usually. You have to have some other bigger power, bigger energy source that can override or at least harmonize the thoughts to your heart. And in this case, the heart is how you feel about a thing in the world. Do you feel excited? Do you feel lit up by? Are you passionate for that idea that just dropped in your mind? Yes, your mind's freaked out because your mind wants to know, how the hell are we going to do that? How the hell are you going to have time to accomplish that? So if we stay in the head, we're dead. The idea dies. But when we bring the body in, we become spacious. We expand. We become bigger than the idea. And therefore, the idea can drop in and we can hold it. And that's not a threat. It actually becomes a part of us. And it can live there and kick around and breathe a little bit in our system, in our body. And we can get to know it. It can become familiar. And as it stays in our body, it digests. Not actually, right? But symbolically, it digests. It integrates, one of my favorite words, into you. When that happens, the mind has no choice but to accept it as reality. So this is a key piece of actually reflecting into the mirror what you desire. Without embodiment, we're only ever going to reflect the patterns, the subconscious mind, the paradigms that were given to us by our family, by our friends, by our environment that we grew up in from the ages of 0 to 7. And it was probably filled with lovely people who cared for you very much, but also very scarcity mindset people because they weren't brought up in this day and age, right? They don't have the information that you have. So it's your job to involve the body to help you bust through lies, bust through the untruth about who you are and what you're capable of doing. The body gives you consent. If you really want something, if you really want change, if you really want something that seems scary to the mind, but the heart says, hell yeah, I really, really want this. I am so excited by what I feel, then you need to do embodiment, because the embodiment practice, what it does is it raises your energy. It oxygenates the blood. And those two things right there send signals to the brain that you are a healthy, fit individual who is here for to embrace and to stand up against the challenges of life. There's a lot of research out there, by the way, that shows this. Those individuals who have lower cardiovascular fitness, those individuals who haven't slept well or ate well, they do not do well in tests of cognitive experience. They don't do well in cognitive control. They don't do well against stress. They perceive things as a stress much sooner than people who have slept well, ate well, and are healthy. That's called embodied cognition. What that means in a nutshell is take care of your body. you've got to elevate your energy. You've got to make sure you're getting good food and nutrients. You've got to make sure you're hydrated. You've got to make sure you're sleeping well. You have to move that damn body. Get the heart pumping, get the lungs pumping. And of course, talk to your general practitioner to make sure that all of this is safe and you're going about it in the right way. But overall, the body will give you consent. Now, once you unlock that, once you're doing your embodiment practices, once you're feeling empowered, energy is high, you are going to look at life very differently. You are going to project very differently than someone who's not taking care and not doing embodiment practices. Not physically healthy, but also not doing the energy practices, not doing the manifesting, not doing the breath work, not doing the mantra, not doing the affirmations, not doing the meditation and contemplation, not doing, if you're in my world, you know what the radical ritual method is, right? That's my sacred embodiment technology. I teach that in 4 distinct parts. Raise your energy, respond to the body, recalibrate to your own energy, and reclaim. It helps us to elevate, celebrate, and ritualize who you naturally are, the kernel, the core, the original you. So all of this, these are all the practices of the energetics of embodiment. You have to be doing both, taking care of your temple on the physiological level, and you have to be doing your embodiment. Those 2 things make up embodiment. Once you're doing that, you will get consent. You will have a true north. You will have a compass needle to go after what it is you're here to achieve. So that, and then, okay, let's relate it back to the mirror. When you are embodied, you're not in your head where you're dead. You're in your body where you're a hottie. No, I don't know. I had to rhyme there, but if you're in your body, you a hottie, okay? And that means you are now confident. You're now poised. You're now integrated. The things you want don't seem outside of you. We're not pedestaling the things you want anymore and trying to prove and work real hard. No, the things you want, the things you desire are just a part of you. Now, tell me right now, how do you think that person who has embodied their goals and dreams, who feels confident, poised, and centered and neutral in their power meaning they're not nervous by their own power. They don't worry that they're going to offend someone. They just show up as they are. When you have those things, how do you think that person's going to show up in the world? What kind of reflection do you think they're going to get back from the mirror of reality? Probably a pretty damn good one, right? And probably exactly what they're putting out. Right. So this is why embodiment is so important to just how you see life. How you see life. Do you see it as an abundant, beautiful, healthy, amazing place? Are you seeing other people around you as queens, as sovereign, strong, powerful individuals? Or are you seeing everyone as a threat? Are you seeing everyone as scarcity mindset? Is all you ever hearing, looking at, feeling, taking in just really negative shit from this world? Well, guess what? You're only ever being reflected back what you are. So guys, embodiment is the key to starting to change your reality. Because remember, manifesting isn't attracting, manifesting is projection. Okay, so now let's loop this into business and being an expert. Okay, so stay with me. If you want to position yourself in your niche as an expert, remember the reason you want to do that isn't all egoic, like, oh, look at me, I'm the expert. You should definitely come listen to me. I know. It's like, no, it's you owning your shit. It's you owning your power, and that's it. It's you saying, these are my God-given talents. This is what I'm absolutely passionate about. This is what I'm fucking amazing at. And you need to learn from me because I'll get you there faster. I'll get you there without all the hiccups. And it's my honor to take you there. It's my purpose, right? So I'm raising my hand for my purpose, and I'm going to state that I'm an expert in this because I just am. Right? And again, if you're embodied as an expert, it is a natural held feeling in your body. When we don't do the embodiment practice, yet we're trying to say we're an expert, or we're really trying to feel like we're an expert, it stays in the head where you're dead, right? So the idea of I'm an expert stays in a particular style of information. I'm going to talk to you about what that is in a second, but it stays in a particular mode when it's just in your head. You're like, God, I've done all these trainings. I have my yoga teacher training certification. I've got my Reiki certification. I've done massage. I'm an esthetician. I've got my certification. I've got the knowledge. So I should feel like an expert. But yet you keep feeling imposter syndrome kick in. You keep hesitating, comparing yourself. Those are the signs you haven't embodied your expertise. You haven't embodied your wisdom. So remember, I just said to you that when you're not embodying, you're leaving this mode in your head. This mode is just information. And guess what, guys? If you're in your head speaking on Instagram, selling, teaching from a place of just knowledge, anyone can get that anywhere. People can Google probably what you're telling them, which is why they're not seeking you out as an expert. Experts don't just give correct information. Experts give correct information in a very unique way. I'm going to say that again. Experts don't just give correct information. Experts give information that's correct in a very unique way, authentic way, funky, quirky, whatever it is that's true to them. That's what draws your ideal client into you. It's not that you have the information and you went through the course and you understand A follows B, then C, then D, then right? Like that linear thinking that we really do feel like is a thing to achieve in our society, right? Like we really put education, we put knowledge on a pedestal. But I'm telling you right now, that's not going to be enough to get yourself to be perceived as an expert. And experts who have just knowledge they're not perceived as an expert. They're not perceived as someone who's in their power, someone who's in their authority. When someone's not perceived as an authority figure, when someone's not perceived as someone who's settled in their own power, it almost looks like you're a reporter out there in the field going, hey guys, I just discovered this. What do you think? What do you think? Do you feel the same? Oh my God, I just went through this. And do you feel the same? And it almost puts you in this like, I'm a newbie with doe eyes and going like, oh my God, like I'm getting all this cool stuff and information. And what do you think? I'm going to tell you right now, straightforward, that no one wants to fucking learn from you because you're not owning what is yours. And you're coming across probably as someone who is like apologizing and might be an expert. And you're hiding behind some illusion that you think that you need to be someone who is always learning rather than someone who knows. You're hiding behind this illusion that you have to keep learning in order to come across as an expert. I'm telling you right now, that's not how it is. Your reality is not market reality, as Brendan Burchard always says. Right now, people don't need you to keep learning. People need you to say and speak what you know. And guess what? It's already a million years more than they know right now. Your current client doesn't know as much as you know, believe it or not. You still think you have to learn more, right? I know. I'm the same way too. And I got to catch myself, and you got to catch yourself right now and say, however far I've come right now is expert level to someone else. And so what we do is we do our embodiment practices. We take the knowledge that's in our head that anyone can Google and anyone can get anywhere, but we got to specialize it. We've got to wash it, rinse it, and move it through us, through you, the most coolest thing on this planet that no one can replicate and no one can replace. That's you. So how do we do that? How do we move it through you? How do we get this to go from knowledge to wisdom? Embodiment. If it's unembodied, stay with me. If it's unembodied, that means it's just knowledge. It's in the head and anyone can get knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere. We are in a time and a space and an age where knowledge is everywhere. I can Google anything from this damn device right here. Okay. So if you're just spewing knowledge, if you're just spewing what's in your head, it's not going to be very attractive. It's not going to be very powerful. And people are going to see you more as just someone who's passing through. What really differentiates you from people around you is the way you uniquely deliver it from your power. Your centered, neutralized power. And that means you have to do embodiment practices that allows you to experience your own knowledge. When you experience your knowledge and you feel it in your body, you build a muscle memory for it. It transfers from knowledge that anyone can get in the world, anyone can Google, into wisdom, which no one can get. It's gated at you. Once it's embodied and you are living your truth, you have practiced it. I'm going to give you examples of how to embody knowledge in just a second, but I want you to get the concept right now. Once you embody your knowledge, it transfers from knowledge that anyone can get in the world, anyone can Google, what big deal, who cares that you're saying it, to wow, I've never heard it said like that before. Have you ever experienced that? You hear someone talk and it's like the same topic, but they say it in a new way and you're like, whoa, bam, right? The doors blew open. God just started to sing, and like light bulb moment for you. What is that? They're not talking about anything new, but they said it in a new way. That's innovation. And that's them understanding, the speaker, that teacher who did that for you. They understand something about knowledge versus wisdom. Knowledge is something that anyone can get, and it lives just in your head. Your job is to embody your knowledge by living the wisdom, by living it. And that's what transfers knowledge into wisdom. When that happens, you are 100% confident. This is the switch I always see in my clients when they move from, okay, this is something I know, to this is something I am. Do you feel that difference? Right? They move from, this is something I know, to this is who I am. That's embodiment. That's ownership. That's mission. That's the sacred mission, finally getting out of the head and dripping down into the heart. The heart feels it. The heart knows it. The body knows it. And you are moving differently in this world. You're showing up differently in this world. You're speaking. You're making different choices. You're dressing differently. You're arriving more authentically. I know people's voices who have changed. Mine has, as a result of being more embodied with their wisdom. You change differently. Another coach that I know, she said that her laugh has changed as a result of becoming more authentic, as a result of owning her skills and talents and God-given gifts, of embodying who she really is. So knowledge is who I'm trying to be, what I think I need to be. Wisdom is, this is who I am. Embodiment is the bridge that's going to help you get there. So what are some examples of you embodying and sort of traversing this gap, if you will? How do you like let it drip into the body? Well, practically, I've already gave you the skills. This is the radical ritual method that I teach inside of my holistic empowerment curriculum. This is also whatever you do to move your body. Do you do sort of dance? Do you do somatic experience? Do you do meditation? Are you a breathwork practitioner? Do you do qigong? Do you do yoga? Do you, whatever you do with the intention of expanding yourself, whatever you do to expand yourself energetically and to elevate your consciousness, right? That is your embodiment practice. On top of that, I want you working out. I want you walking. I want you eating well. I want you taking care of the vitality of your body. That is another piece of embodiment, okay? That's the physical side of embodiment. Now, the side that maybe you wouldn't see someone doing, you can't look at someone and go, oh, they're embodying. What's that stuff? That is you actually living what you know. So in the beginning, when you get a certification in something, what do you start doing? You start practicing it, right? You start telling loved ones and friends and family about what you just learned. You start seeing the world differently and then speaking about what you learned. You start kind of trying it out on other people. You try it on yourself. If you're a yoga teacher, you probably learned how to do sun salutations. So you start doing them at home. If you're a yoga teacher, you learned how to teach breath work. So you start practicing at home. In other words, the embodiment practice that needs to be happening is you doing it while no one's looking. Well, you doing it when no one's looking. When the door is closed, when social media is turned off, are you practicing your skills? Because this is the difference between you being a fully authentic, embodied, empowered leader who is perceived as an expert versus someone who is just being perceived as a passerby because honestly, you're just passing by your own wisdom. So remember, life is a mirror. If you want to see a reflection of soul aligned clients who are like, oh my God, you hold the key to me. I can tell by working with you, you're going to elevate my spirit, my soul. You're my teacher right now. And we're going to be in co-creation together for this season right now. If you want clients lining up, students, customers that are lining up over the moon, excited for you, then you need to be putting that projection out there, which means that you need to be over the moon excited for you, which means that you need to be loving on yourself, which means that you need to be embodying and behind closed doors when no one is looking. You need to be devoted. You need to be devoted to your own craft. That is what's going to help you emerge whole, grounded, unshakable in your faith for who you are. Remember, your sacred mission, when it's just in the head, is just knowledge. Anyone can get that. And you don't own it when it's in the head. When you embody and you live the wisdom, you start to practice and live the wisdom. You move from this is something that I have, knowledge, to this is something that I am, wisdom. You see the difference? Once you're in your wisdom body, you are unshakable. You are unmatchable. You are unreplaceable, irreplaceable. You are powerful in a way that says, I see you in your power too. I see you in your power. Why aren't you rising into your power? Come on. I need everyone rising. It's not like you're so egotistical. I'm in my power and you want to overtake people. No, that isn't the type of power. And actually, I have a 5-step power code system that where each POWER all stands for different things. There's going to be a little masterclass coming up soon that's going to drop that to you. Some of you already know what it is because I brought to you for the first time last year. But this is really, really important because when you understand what power truly is, potency, opulence, womb, entrainment, and reverence, those are the words that describe power the way that I teach it. When you understand it and you can really drop into it, it's the most beautiful, harmonious, loving energy that there is on this planet. Power is the state you need to be in. And Ubuntu, right? Everyone else is in that state too. I need you rising in your power. That's how I rise in mine because we are one organism. We are one species. We are one together. So if someone isn't in their power, that means that I'm not fully in mine. And so our job becomes then to lift everyone up. So power is a harmonious aid. So when you're in your power, when you have embraced your power, when you're settled in your power, you are not only seen as an expert, but you automatically lift everyone up. Isn't that beautiful? So there you have it. That is why embodiment practices are essential for manifesting what you want in life, at home, for your family, for your love life, for your bank account, for your business. And B, why embodiment is important to help you attract in your soul aligned clients and feel really confident about who you are as a soul source business babe. Okay, guys? I love you so much. Don't forget, I have a 14-day free manifesting a mission challenge that's open and available and always running in the background. You're more than welcome to join in at any point. They're pre-recorded videos and a private Facebook group, so you can get to them when you want. But when you jump into and submit and join the challenge, you'll get daily emails from me. And you can do them at your own pace. Those of you that are soul power business babes, there is a special invitation inside of that challenge to join me in the upcoming program, the Diamond Frequency Business University. It starts soon. The doors are open. You can get in now and just start consuming all the beautiful content that's already there, from manifesting to getting your business started or expanding it. Okay, guys? But either way, that 14-day challenge is available for everyone, whether or not you own or want to own a soul power business one day. Okay. So check the links below this audio or this video, and there will be the 14-day free manifesting a mission challenge. Thanks guys so much for listening. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I love being with you. We'll see you soon.